What makes a community? Is it the people? Is it the stores? Is it the design? Perhaps it's the way that we interact with it. Okay, maybe not entirely, but perhaps in part, the way we interact with our communities is an important factor of a community. With gita, there's certainly a preferred method to interact with the environment. Not by car or by train, but on foot. This is where walkable communities come into play. On the surface, it's pretty simple. Many communities are quite spread out, where in order to get groceries, go to school or work, even to shoot some hoops, you often have to hop in a car to get there. Rural communities sometimes achieve more walkability. A smaller town usually means less distance to the places you want to go. But in developing cities around the United States and the world, cities are growing outwards and not upwards. WalkScore, a company dedicated to promoting walkable neighborhoods, rates and evaluates communities based on their ability to allow their residents to get around. This rating ends up on a scale of 1 to 100, and rates neighborhoods on how dependent any average person must be on a car for transportation in their everyday lives. WalkScore also collects data that they use for public transit and biking scores, which can supplement getting around on foot. This is one tool that we can use to determine if a community is walkable. WalkScore was founded in 2007 by Jesse Kocher and Matt Lerner. Acquired by Redfin in 2014, WalkScore is used by over 30,000 websites, mostly rental sites like apartments.com and Zillow. But why dedicate yourself to walkable communities in the first place? One reason is simplicity. Communities where you can get everything you need in a walkable distance are just easier. Imagine walking home from work and being able to browse shelves for a new hat, and then go across the street and get a loaf of bread all on the way home. People are overall happier when they don't have to deal with the stresses of traffic, parking, and navigating in their everyday lives. Which brings us to another important reason to put emphasis on walkable communities: environmental impact. It's no secret that cars emit gas, and it's no secret that gas isn't exactly good for our planet. And although this truth has been known for decades, a lot of us don't have a choice in the matter. But often these sort of errands require a car, as these places, your job, your grocery store, and home are all far apart. As a result, you waste a lot of time and gas getting around. For work, it's extremely common for people to commute 30 to 60 minutes to work every day. Walkable cities take into account the infrastructure by which to get places more quickly. Maybe you have a bike, and you'd be happy to bike half an hour to work or school, but there aren't any bike paths to get you from point A to point B.
So I got a ticket for not riding in the bike lane, but often there are obstructions that keep you from properly riding in the bike lane.
A mile in one city isn't always the same as a mile in another. Look at this map of two neighborhoods in the Seattle area. Both neighborhoods show the area you can cover with a mile of walking, but each side shows vastly different potentials. As a result, you have two very different walk scores. Finney Ridge has a walk score of 79, while Bellevue has a score of 40, which is nearly half. Now, this walk score doesn't take into account everything. New York City, the country's most populous city, has a walk score of 88, which is also the most walkable city in America by walk score standards. The average New York City resident can walk, bike, or ride to get most amenities. However, New York is known for its insane traffic, so naturally you would think that this score means nothing. But this is a walk score after all. For those who walk, there is next to no danger of being stuck in traffic, getting frustrated by other frustrated drivers, or the dread of finding a parking spot. But does everyone who works or walks in New York City live in New York City? The answer is no. 62% of workers in New York City drive to work. Unfortunately, those same people don't have the same walkability, or time for that matter, when they go home for the night or weekend. Now, where does gita fit into all of this? This is, of course, a regularly scheduled episode of Better Tech-gether, and wouldn't be complete without our following robot friends. In any community where walking is the standard form of transportation, there comes with it the need to take things from point A to point B. We've seen how gita has been able to help carry baked goods to a park, books to a library, and documents to city employees. But this is far from the total list of possibilities that gita can provide. The reason that gita is able to help in these ways is that downtown Ontario has quite a healthy walk score of 82. Unfortunately, the city as a whole only has a walk score of 46. So while downtown residents, which only make up 7% of the city's population, has a high walk score, the city's most populous neighborhood, Creekside, holds 38% of the population and has a walk score of 11. Let's just say you won't see gita rolling down the 60 anytime soon. And this leads us to Ontario Ranch, where communities are being built with walkability in mind. New Haven is a development being built in Ontario Ranch. Right now it's still being developed, so it doesn't yet have a walk score, but when completed, residents will be able to walk from home to the dog park in just 5 minutes, and for dinner at the New Haven Marketplace, just 2 minutes. This didn't happen on accident. It was designed this way. This isn't the first walkable community ever, and it's certainly not the last, but gita is excited for the journey regardless. Stay tuned for future episodes of Better Together and see how gita and developments like New Haven can help make walkable communities the new normal.